and Manny Pacquiao beats me, and he's the next champion.
My favorite is De La Hoya.
It felt I felt humiliated.
The good thing is De La Hoya is my inspiration in boxing, when I start boxing.
Can he do it? Quadra? Can he do it? Absolutely. That's a Mexican brand. Oscar needs. He's a legend, you know. Some nice ones, thank you. He's a legend. I think he can do it.
Mario's back on the left cross. There's also the mental angle. Oscar's been through fight weeks as the aside, B-side crowd favorite and villain. His promoted under pressure, lost under pressure and bounced back again. Manny doesn't need motivation, but having someone beside him who knows how to orchestrate pressure that changes everything. And it's not like Oscar hasn't given technical advice before. He's been caught on camera coaching golden boy fighters mid-round, adjusting guard position, even reminding boxers when to breathe. He's a natural ring general, quietly shaping younger talent with old school IQ. At Impact you want to tighten your fist. Is that kind of...
And please, Manny, tell me the truth. Wow. That's it. Why are you coming back? And the warrior that Manny is, he's gonna be like, because I love to fight and I want to fight the best, and I've been watching boring fights and I want to come back and give a show against Barrios, who's a world champion.
How you do it right. What you do is at Impact, when you're going to get ready to throw that punch in your mind, you're thinking, I'm going to throw it, I'm going to throw it. When it's halfway here, you close it. The reason why we keep it open is because the punch, when it's relaxed, it comes much faster. If you're so tense and you want to throw it so strong, the punch, you can see it in your face first of all. Your opponent can see in your face, and the punch comes harder but slower. So yeah, maybe it was never real, but the idea had legs, because even now, even 16 years after they shared a ring, Oscar still knows how to navigate the storms Manny's about to walk through. Again, in the old era of boxing, rivalries were sacred lines in the sand. You fought a man, you buried the hatchet in his ribs, not in the handshake after. But something's changed this generation. It's different now. We see legends teaming up. Fighters who once went to war are now cornering each other. Andre Ward helping Shakur, Roy Jones Jr. guiding Chris Eubank Jr. Even Floyd, once allergic to vulnerability, is stepping in to coach and mentor behind the scenes. And that's why Oscar training Manny didn't feel impossible, because in today's fight world, knowledge is currency, legacy is collaborative. You don't just pass the torch, you light someone else's. If Oscar did stop by Pacquiao's camp, even just to observe,
We got spread over here today.
even just to offer a few quiet words, that alone would have meant something. Because when your rival turned respectful, equal drops inside you. Listen harder. This shift is about more than game plans. It's about healing old wars, about showing that even in a brutal sport, growth doesn't end with retirement. It evolves. The inspectors talking to Oscar and a consensus, and he came right over and congratulated Manny Pacquiao. You can't remember a time when Oscar de La Hoya got hit so much. And for fans, seeing those story arcs come full circle, fighters who once fought now lifting each other up, it hits deep, because it reminds us what's really behind the gloves: history, humility, and the fact that sometimes the guy who beat you ends up being the one who teaches you best. So let's bring this back to reality. Manny Pacquiao isn't training for a tribute match. He's not throwing punches for nostalgia. He's gearing up to fight Mario Barrios on July 19th, a real contender, 10 years younger, taller, stronger, and fresh off a dominant win. This isn't exhibition energy, this is a risk going the 12-round distance reality. So he's been in, and that's exactly why the rumor about Oscar hit so hard, because if there was ever a moment for Pacquiao to lean into experience outside the speed bag and sprint drills, it's now. Barrios isn't some journeyman. He's a hungry, rangy fighter who's been tested in real wars. Pacquiao still has the speed, still has the footwork, but at 45 he needs something more than instinct. He needs efficiency breathing room, tactical reads before exchanges, and that's where a guy like Oscar would fit. Imagine Oscar reminding him don't overextend on the left, control the center, make him reach, touch the body early to slow his rhythm, that kind of detail. That's not flash, that's survival. And while the world debates whether Manny still has it, the smartest fighters in the room are thinking about how he uses what he has left. Oscar's presence even hypothetically shifts that question from can he keep up to can he control. The pace fight isn't about recreating the old Manny, it's about evolving him. And whether Oscar stepped in or not, the fact that so many believed it tells you exactly what kind of fight Pacquiao is walking into. Let's call it what it is. The title was clickbait. Oscar training with Manny, that's bait. 101 no source, no footage, no quote, but you clicked, and so did everybody else. Why? Because boxing fans aren't just watching for knockouts. They're watching for storylines, for comebacks, for unlikely alliances, and this headline, it didn't promise a scoop. It promised a moment right here. You're seeing Pacquiao landing punch after punch, and it's not so much just the way he's landing them. The body language and position of Bella Hoya's body is that of a man that's defeated. It's passive. The reason it worked is because it didn't feel forced. These two names have history. Their 2008 fight was career-defining for both. Their rivalry was clean, professional and respectful. So when the idea came back not as opponents but as partners, it clicked emotionally before it clicked logically. And here's the deeper truth. Sometimes clickbait isn't just bait, it's code. It's the internet's way of saying this might not be real, but it feels real enough to be worth hoping for. I'm sorry, your idol, I steal my idol. Whatever happened, man, all right. Just to repeat the exchange I just heard, Manny said to Oscar, you're still my idol. And Oscar said to Manny, no, now you're my idol. Think about how many clickbait headlines don't stick, but this one did, because deep down fans aren't dumb, they're romantic. They know legends fade, they just want to believe that sometimes two of them might walk the same path again, even if it's just for a few rounds or one corner. So no, Oscar didn't train Pacquiao, but the fact that so many people thought he might, that tells you everything you need to know about their shared legacy. Here's the twist: most people miss Oscar de la Hoya and Manny Pacquiao don't have to train together to influence each other, because legacy doesn't need proximity. It leaves fingerprints on styles, on stories, on the way future fighters think, move, and adapt. Oscar didn't walk into Pacquiao's gym, but his name, his presence, still changes the conversation. It's symbolic. The man Pacquiao once dismantled in the ring is now seen by some fans as a possible ally. That's not clickbait, that's evolution, because real legends aren't remembered just for their fights, they're remembered for how they stay relevant even when they're not throwing punches. De La Hoya still walks like a fighter. Manny still trains like he's 25, and the world still stops when their names collide in a sentence, even if that sentence is completely made up. You used to keep like here, yeah, I was right here, I was always right here, back in short, and then they said don't do that. You just keep doing. I never listen, I know. So what did this fake headline actually give us? Perspective, respect, a reminder that in boxing some names never really leave the ring, they just keep circling it, teaching without teaching, speaking without saying a word, because whether he showed up to camp or not, Oscar's impact still there. In the discipline, in the strategy, in the fact that we're still talking about it.